Yeah, my name is Åse Manheim, and I've lived in Malden about 6 years. And originally I come from Sweden, but I came here for many, many years ago. I really enjoy being in Malden because of the access to the wilderness, all the fells and other parks. And right now we are in the Middlesex area of Melrose. And we are here because of most of my pictures and interests seem to be in the forest or on the beach, in nature, in other words. And I try to avoid concrete as much as I can, so I flee into these places. And I'm so happy to share my pictures because I think some of them are really fun and others are more tranquil and to reflect some of the enormous beauty in nature and the peace that comes with that. Yeah, my father was a geologist and my mother was a botanist. And so early on, I was used to go looking either down for some wildflowers or looking up for birds. And it's really courtesy of my dear parents that I developed a love for nature, which has grown. And so I always look for something. I've taken some pictures with snow melting on top, and it creates a pattern. So that's one of the things I look for, are patterns, as if nature, Mother Nature, if you will, is a designer. So here we are at the reservoir, and it has such a calming effect. And I like to take real simple, just tranquil pictures, and this is a good setting for that. And also to catch the reflections in the water of the fall trees. It's amazing sometimes when these are, on a photograph. It's almost unbelievable the colors that you see. It can't be that red or it can't be that intensely orange. It's the most favorite place is to walk on the beach and pretty much alone. So I feel totally luxurious doing that. And if I come early in the morning, there are usually birds. I've seen oyster catchers, and not to mention all the little sandpipers, and I never tire of them. How they know exactly what they're supposed to do, even if big waves come in, roll in, those little sandpipers just I guess they have sneakers on and run very fast away from the wave, or they take to wings also. So I love to photograph that and just watch them endlessly. And when the waves come in, I can just stand and with my camera try to catch different designs that are shaped by the waves, the froth of the waves, and the different minerals that are in the sand will actually create a pattern. There will be more black sand, and it's fascinating. You can just stay in the same spot and it will change. There's a bird sanctuary called Felix Neck on Martha's Vineyard, and there I discovered these piles of driftwood. And one of my favorite photographs is, it looks like a dinosaur from the front, a Stegosaurus or something like that. And that it's almost real. It's not only imagination, it's real. There I also saw the sea moss, and it formed different shapes, so it looked like one of the pictures is, I call mother and child actually. It's a bigger piece and a smaller piece, and there's a stone that seems like the head, and it also gave me ample room for imagination there, as well as a ghost house. Was not something built by little kids. They sometimes leave their marked sandcastles and stone buildings, stone statues, but this one was created by, it's some driftwood, but moss had grown over it, or seaweed, and so it looks really spooky with windows. And one thing I do, I look at tree stems, and sometimes there are holes, either natural or wood pecked, and I make it into. I imagine it's an apartment dwelling, for instance, and who might live in there. In the folklore where I come from, there was always these little wooden creatures, elves and trolls. And I saw a tree that was really this head-like creature sticking out. It's sort of in between an antelope and a horse, some unusual creature. I've always enjoyed taking pictures, of family and so forth. And at one point, I worked in a laboratory and I learned the development of glass plates. And that was very helpful later on because I did develop black and white film. Sporadically, I think, because I am such a visual person, so whenever I see a scape or a beautiful flower, colors are important, or, as I said before, designs. So I was given a camera by my father, an old size camera, and then so off and on for years, and basically I was encouraged by family and friends to do something more, and out of that came a small studio that I have now. And so it was in my retirement that I started to take pictures gradually, and I'm still growing. So I try to go out in the morning or late afternoon, because then the sun with its slanted shine, you get very interesting shadows and light effects. So light, I feel like a hunter sometimes, and it reminds me of a spiritual concept that is well known, is to stay in the light, that's where the good things are. And I often think about that and how you have to be sharp and right there in the now. It's nothing you can postpone. Because of the light. Yeah. When I go out to take pictures, it's a visual aspect of it, but there's so much more being in the nature. It's about being in the now and opening all your senses. So it alerts all your senses, including your spirit. And I feel like you really do connect with God, and that's why probably it's so refreshing, I think, because it is so peaceful. And you think also more about the water, how we are all connected by water. We have a lot of water in our bodies, and it connects us with different people, with all people. And even the healing effects of water, we really depend on it. And I often think about the little green leaves. It's so fascinating to me, photosynthesis, and also how the most flowers really turn towards the sun. And that's a spiritual lesson for me, that how I should turn my heart to God, really, and try to live His way, or her. So there are many aspects of nature that I think are so dear and awesome.